Hello, and welcome to WikiPodia, a bi-monthly podcast dedicated to plumbing the depths of Wikipedia's voluminous depths in search of hidden, or simply random, information. This is WikiPodia, Episode 1, Detective Pikachu, the video game. Detective Pikachu is an adventure game developed by Creatures Inc., published by the Pokemon Company, and distributed by Nintendo for the Nintendo 3DS. The game is a spin-off of the Pokemon franchise, in which the player works with a talking Pikachu to solve various mysteries. A shorter, downloadable version of the game, called Great Detective Pikachu, Birth of a New Duo, or originally Mai Tentai Pikachu Shin Konbi Tanjo, was released in Japan in February 2016, while the full version was released worldwide in March 2018. In contrast to previous Pokemon role-playing games, Detective Pikachu is an adventure game spin-off focusing on narrative storytelling, with a presentation comparable to the Pokemon anime series, or so says Tom Phillips in his March 16, 2018 article, Detective Pikachu Sees Pokemon Fully Embrace Its Anime Heritage, released in Eurogamer. A live-action animated film adaptation, Pokemon Detective Pikachu, will be released in May 2019. Section 1. The plot. The game begins with a peculiar talking Pikachu, who despite not being as powerful and nimble as other Pikachu of his kind, is rather intelligent and claims to be a great detective. One day, Pikachu encounters a boy named Tim Goodman, who is able to understand what he is saying. They are immediately put to the test with retrieving a stolen necklace from thieving Ipon. Afterwards, they head to Baker Detective Agency and meet Mike Baker and Secretary Amanda Blackstone, both of whom were close to Harry Goodman, Tim's father, and Pikachu's owner. Tim and Pikachu deduce that Harry was last seen trying to investigate Litwick Cave and arrived just in time to rescue GNN reporter Maiko Okamoto and her assistant Amelia Christie from a rampaging Glalie, who seems to not remember why it was attacking to begin with. After escaping, Tim and Pikachu trace a clue to the Pokemon Comprehensive Laboratory. Posing as interns, they are introduced to the staff and are reunited with Amelia and Maiko, who together end up having to solve another rampaging Pokemon incident. They learn that employee Carlos Hernando had created a drug called R and has been using it to induce the rampages. They learn that R was actually created by Dr. Walls, who now lives in Capucci Island, but upon arriving, learn that he is under arrest by overzealous Lieutenant Brad McMaster for a supposed dangerous Pokemon that has been attacking the native wildlife. With Tim and Pikachu's help, they catch the real culprit, a tourist director who just wanted to possess Dr. Walls' home and clear Walls' name. Walls reveal that R was supposed to be a miracle drug using the DNA of Mew, but by mistake, the DNA came from Mewtwo, who has a berserk gene that causes the rampaging Pokemon. At Walls' advice, Tim and Pikachu head to the abandoned Fine Park, where the first rampage occurred from a Charizard. The native Pokemon bring forth a locket that belonged to Harry and learn from a Buneri that a Skorupi had attacked him, resulting in him crashing his car. Tim and Pikachu head to the GNN building to meet with Maiko about the Fine Park footage of Charizard's rampage. When she leaves to get it, Tim and Pikachu get involved in another mystery involving a violinist and a down-on-his-luck comedian. They finally get to see the footage and discover that GNN assistant director Keith Norman has used a Skorupi to release R on a Charizard at the park. Found out, Keith makes his escape on a Noivern, but Pikachu discovers that the locket left by Harry is actually a hidden camera full of photos taken from Rhyme Wharf. Upon arriving, Tim and Pikachu spot a couple of shifty wharf employees and realize that they are keeping Wall's former assistant Simon Yen and have been forcing him to mass-produce R. Pikachu suddenly remembers that he made a promise to Mewtwo to stop the creation of R, and Yen sneaks Tim and Pikachu onto the SS Prime Treasure, where R is apparently being sent. By coincidence, they run into Amelia and get caught up in another side mystery they must solve. Afterwards, they learn that a secret auction is happening and take part in it, with them discovering that Keith is there and manage to catch him. As Tim and Amelia have a moment, Pikachu speaks privately with Mewtwo, who reveals that his promise is not over, and that he still needs him to get rid of his cells. After looking through Keith's things, they learn he is working for someone at GNN, and they plan to release R during the Pokemon Carnival. Tim, Pikachu, and Amelia race back to Baker Agency to inform them about the clues they have gathered. Realizing that the culprit plans to release R at Central Square, the group splits up to look for clues. They capture and arrest a mysterious man in a yellow hat, but realize that R will be distributed from the clock tower and find a large machine that they are able to successfully disarm. At that point, they realize that the culprit is GNN boss Roger Clifford, due to him mentioning that Pikachu does not have powers, something that only Keith knew. Roger reveals himself with Amelia hostage. He explains that he wanted to use R as a way to report on its disaster in Rhyme City, making GNN more powerful and leading to having total control of information. Tim and Pikachu rescue Amelia and defeat Roger in his Noivern. As Roger is taken away, Pikachu meets with Mewtwo to return the last of his cells. Pikachu then makes a decision and is put to sleep by Mewtwo. The next morning, Tim and Pikachu set off for Harry. Section 2. Gameplay. Detective Pikachu is an adventure game in which players control Tim Goodman as he works together with Detective Pikachu to solve various mysteries. This is accomplished by walking around scenes, finding potential clues, and speaking with people and Pokemon to uncover new information, or so says Emily Guerra in her article New Pokemon Game Featuring Pikachu in Development, released in Polygon on February 1st, 2016. Section 3. Development. Development on Detective Pikachu began in mid-2013. The game was first revealed in October 2013 during an episode of the Japanese television show The Professionals as part of a profile on the Pokemon Company CEO Tsunekazu Ishihara. NHK, the show's television network, leaked some information about the game on its website in advance of the show's airing. Early shots of the game depict a Pikachu in blue. Later that year, Nintendo filed a trademark for the name Great Detective Pikachu, or so says Alexa Ray Korea. Nintendo's trademarks Great Detective Pikachu, released in Polygon, February 1st, 2016. The developers released a debut trailer in late January 2016, a week before the game's launch. In a 2018 interview, the creators of Detective Pikachu, which features a talking Pikachu, revealed that the original intention for the anime was to have the Pokemon talk, but OLM Incorporated were unable to come up with a concept that Game Freak were accepting of, or so said the video 5 Detective Pikachu Facts from our developer interview, What's New, Movie, and Origin, released on YouTube in January 5th, 2018 by Game Explained. Section 4. Release. The game's initial version, called Great Detective Pikachu Birth of a New Duo, or Mai Tantai Pikachu Shinkonbi Danjon, was released on the Nintendo 3DS eShop in Japan on February 3, 2016. On January 12, 2018, this version of the game was removed from the eShop in Japan, or so says the article Detective Pikachu Birth of a New Duo completely removed from the Nintendo 3DS eShop, released on Pokemon Blog, January 12, 2018. And later that day, it was announced that an expanded version of the game, simply titled Detective Pikachu, was scheduled for a physical Nintendo 3DS release worldwide on March 23, 2018. This version of the game featured 9 chapters of story, as opposed to the 3 of the original release. On March 9, 2018, a special demo version of the full game was released for free on the Nintendo 3DS eShop in Japan. The demo featured the first half of the first chapter of the game, and allowed players to transfer their progress to the full game. Or so said Iggy in his March 10, 2018 article, Detective Pikachu Demo Now Live in Japan, on Nintendo Soup. This game was later released in the West on April 5, 2018. Released by Nintendo in their article, Free Special Demo Version of the Detective Pikachu game. Similarly, Japanese players who had completed the original download version of the game were able to start playing the full version from where they left off upon release. The game was released alongside a giant Detective Pikachu amiibo figure, which unlocks hints and optional cutscenes in the game. Or so says Jason Schreier, and Look at this giant Detective Pikachu amiibo, released in Kotaku, originally on January 12, 2018. Following the Japanese release of the game, dedicated fans started a petition requesting the American actor Danny DeVito as the English voice actor for the titular character. The petition gained 40,000 signatures, but DeVito declined to audition for the role. Or so said Yahoo Tech, archived from the original February 6, 2016 article. Pokemon fans petitioned to make Danny DeVito the voice of Pikachu. He'd be perfect. Later follow-up from an archived Twitter post from Paley Live on March 24, 2018. Paley Center on Twitter. Audience question. Will Danny DeVito voice the Detective Pikachu video game? Danny says no and asks what it is. What the F is Pokemon? Paley Live Twitter post. To promote the release of the full version of the game, the Pokemon Company released a free promotional ebook called Detective Pikachu Episode 0, Eevee's Case, available until May 15, 2018 on Apple's iBooks and Amazon's Kindle stores. The short story acts as a prequel to the game, setting up its story. The book was originally released in physical form as a pre-order bonus for the game in Japan. Or so said Nintendo Life, Gamer Network, archived from the original March 23, 2018 article by Ryan Craddock. Detective Pikachu Eevee's Case is an ebook prequel to the game, and you can read it for free. Alongside this, a set of stickers were also released for free on iMessage and Line on the same day. Or so said Nintendo Everything, archived from its original article on March 24, 2018, Detective Pikachu stickers now available on iMessage. Section 5. Reception. In Japan, the game sold 121,423 units, including 94,203 retail sales and 27,220 digital eShop sales, or so was said in the 2018 November 13th article Game Search from the Game Data Library. On North America's NPD charts, it was the top-selling 3DS game in March 2018. Released on Nintendo Everything, April 24, 2018's article, March 2018 NPD, best-selling games on Switch, 3DS through 2018, last 12 months, and one of the top 10 3DS games during the June to July 2018 period, based on the Pokemon blog's August 23, 2018 article, NPD Group reveals Detective Pikachu, Pokemon Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, and Super Smash Bros. Are among the best-selling games of July 2018. On the UK's multi-platform charts, it debuted at number 23 in its first week during March 2018, before rising to number 15 the following week, with a 76% sales increase. Or so said the Nintendo Life April 3, 2018 article, Detective Pikachu is back on the case, with a much stronger week 2 in the UK charts plus. It was also number 12 on the UK's 3DS platform chart in November through 2018, so says Pokemon Blog's November 12, 2018 article of the same name. Detective Pikachu received an aggregate rating of 71 out of 100, indicating mixed reviews from critics, according to review aggregator Metacritic. Critics praised the game's presentation, storytelling, witty writing, voice cast, puzzles, and the two main characters themselves, Detective Pikachu and Tim Goodman. However, it was criticized for having mediocre gameplay, simplistic game mechanics, and a lack of difficulty and short lengths, or so was taken from Metacritic, CBS Interactive Archive, from the original March 23, 2018 article on Detective Pikachu. IGN gave the game a great score of 8.2 out of 10, calling it a bold take on the iconic Pokemon, which succeed thanks to Pika prompts that build Pikachu beyond detective stereotypes, and concluded that it gives a great insight into the world of Pokemon through its fun mysteries and wonderful copy-loving lead. Or so said Miranda Sanchez in her March 22, 2018 article, Detective Pikachu Review, posted on IGN. Ryan Craddock of Nintendo Life also gave the game a great score of 8 out of 10, stating that while the game was quite easy with no real penalty for incorrect decisions, the game's art, storytelling, and genuine likable cast showed the world of Pokemon in a great new light. There was also praise given to the game's gorgeous visuals and the character of Detective Pikachu himself. Taken from Ryan Craddock's March 22, 2018 review, Detective Pikachu 3DS on Nintendo Life. Several critics felt the story would work better as a film than as a game, taken from several Metacritic reviews. Eurogamer noted that the game is more similar to the Pokemon anime series than previous Pokemon video games, and compared it to the Ace Attorney series of adventure games. Nintendoros also compared it to the manga of the anime series Detective Conan, taking from Nintendoros Analysis, Detective Pikachu article posted on April 8, 2018. The game was nominated for Nintendo Game of the Year at the Golden Joysticks Award, and for the Game Franchise Family at the National Academy of Video Game Trade Reviews Awards. Section 6. Film Adaptation. On July 20th, 2016, Legendary Entertainment announced that they have acquired the rights to make a live-action film based on the Detective Pikachu character. The film began pre-production in 2017. Later that year, it was reported that Alex Hirsch and Nicole Perlman were originally writing for the script, but Hirsch was not involved with the final draft. Dean Israelite, Robert Rodriguez, and Tim Miller were being considered as potential directors. On November 30th, 2016, it reveals that Rob Letterman was chosen to direct the film. The film stars Justin Smith, Catherine Newton, Suki Waterhouse, Omar Chaparro, Chris Gere, Ken Watanabe, Bill Knightley, with Ryan Reynolds as the voice of Detective Pikachu. Filming began in London in January 2018, and the film is slated to be released on May 10, 2019. Warner Bros. Pictures will distribute it outside Japan, while Toho will distribute the film in Japan. I'd like to thank everyone for staying with me to the very end, if indeed you are still here, and while this week we did not manage to find World War II, I'm sure there's something else to find somewhere in the depths of Wikipedia. As always, I have been your host, John Miller, and I hope to find you somewhere in another article.